Hello, football edits. Welcome back to Let's Talk Football. My name is Tato Toteti, otherwise known as TT, the former Hellenic and African Wanderers midfielder Abatulusi. Um, on Sunday, we witnessed one of the most important elements you'll ever find in leadership, and that is trusting voices within your team. Let me take you back to that moment. So, around the 83rd minute, with Mamelodi Sundowns obviously leading, the coach Cardoso looked ready to make an attacking substitution, and the plan was to bring on Uikrem Ryan as a forward player. Now, normally when that happens, it signals one thing and one thing only, and the message is let's go finish the game. But then something interesting happened. Khuliso Mudau stepped in and he goes into the technical team and he says, no, we don't need another attacker. We need more numbers behind the ball. Let's protect what we have. That right there for me is leadership. Without, well, he might have appeared like he is shouting, but obviously it's the emotions during the game. Not wearing any armband, but ready to, you know, read the game and have confidence to speak to the technical team. And here's where it gets more interesting as well. Seconds later, a red card for Ugren Kekana was awarded by the referee, obviously, to the opponent. The defenders sent out, and you can imagine if that sub happened, that would have meant that the coach or the technical team will then have to come up with a tactical plan to decide who are we sacrificing. Now, I'm not saying that Umudao predicted that, but all I'm saying is that our instincts to prioritize defensive stability suddenly became even more valuable during that moment, because that for me is why leadership on the pitch matters. As a coach, you can't control everything. Tina, we make it as if like as a coach, you have to control every moment. During the game, it's not the case. The game is too fast. It's too unpredictable. That's why you need leaders on the field, players who can think and adapt and guide the team in real time. And let's address something I've been seeing, personally on social media, which I think it really doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Um, People are saying that the coach is being told by players what to do, or the decisions are being taken by the players. I don't think that if Muda was a captain, people would have a problem with that. But for me, I don't see it as a weakness. That's elite football. Even overseas players like Kevin De Bruyne has had moments where he had influenced decision under Pep Guardiola. At times, Pep even reacts emotional because that's a level of engagement you want. And I remember at some point, during the game, Kevin De Bruyne told Pep Guardiola to shut up. It was during the game, and fortunately we could hear because it was just near the sidelines, and obviously there's those mics that they put there on the sides, so you can hear some of the instructions if they are closer to the mic. So during that time, Kevin De Bruyne told the coach to shut up. The game was still, and Pep just walked straight to his seat and he sat down. And I'm not saying that Kevin De Bruyne is the boss. The boss is Pep Guardiola, but there are those managers that would encourage their players to, have an engagement, have a say, and you don't take out that creativity within them. But obviously with this situation, it's quite different. For me now, I don't look. There are instances even here locally. We've had Pitso Musimani, who trusted leaders like Abo, Hlompo Kekana, Stuart Baxter had so much trust in his senior players. He would engage with them. I remember the former Shamay, they did an interview where he mentioned that at times when the coach would take certain tactical decisions, before the game, he would approach senior players, and those senior players were Shaba, Matoho, Itu, and Mashamaide. So it was, I think, six George at that time, So it's not to say that when you are a coach, you need to dictate matters. Obviously, we have different style of managers. There are those managers that just don't want to hear from players. They just give orders, and each and every player has to adhere to those tactical instructions. But in modern days, you do now, coaches and managers do encourage players to have a say, and we just decide from there if we are going with that or what. It allows players to be creative. Football, it's not a one-man show from the bench, the way people make it to be. It's a collective intelligence. So what we saw on Sunday, it wasn't confusion, it wasn't players or player taking over. It was, for me now, it was leadership in real time, in the moment, and that's what you need. And sometimes that makes all the difference that you want. If we want players to behave in a certain way, then it's fine. You do get those managers. I think also even coaches like Abo Moreno, they encourage their players to, Frank Lampard to, have a say. Frank Lampard did an interview a while ago, said that Moreno, while he was still playing, he is the one that encouraged him to, pursue a career in being a football manager. And from that conversation, Frank Lampard will engage more and wanting to see things from the manager's perspective while he was still a player. So it differs for me now. That moment was just leadership for me personally. I know a lot of you by Ngati, the coach has been told, but it's not the first time we see this. Even during our playing days, we would tell the coach, but why we don't implement 1, 2, 3 while the game is still playing? When you have that 10 seconds where you can just tell the technical team to say, okay, this is what I'm picking up. What are you thinking? Or I know obviously a call like a substitution makes it like it's a huge thing. Well, it's not. It's not, guys. It's normal. It happens. So I don't know what to and please feel free to share your comments. Let's engage. This is Let's Talk Football. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.